Hi, Sharon here. This week's quick tip is about backups. A couple weeks ago in Calgary, Alberta, they had some major flooding. Several homes were lost and many more were damaged due to the flooding. And of course, flooding is going to happen in the basement where most of us have our home offices. So in a lot of cases there, I'm wondering how many people had backups of their data. So we have something called the 3-2-1 backup rule of data to help keep you and your data protected. So three copies of your data. Typically you'll have a copy on your hard drive, that's what you're working with. In most cases, most of us back it up to a USB to have it as we're carrying it around or just as a backup. And then you may have another copy as well. Maybe you're using a portable hard drive or a backup disk. In that case, that would be your 3 copies. 2, we need on 2 different media. Part of the 3 copies already solves our 2 media issue. Again, the hard drive is a different media than your USB drive. And one copy is off-site. Whether this be taking a USB drive off-site, using cloud storage of some sort for your backups, or maybe you're burning everything over to DVD once a year or once a month and keeping it safe that way. So that's the basic rule. 3-2-1. 3 copies of your data, 2 different media, 1 off-site. Our current operating systems make this very easy to do now. So in the Mac environment, Time Machine will go ahead and back this up, and it backs it up. I believe it's hourly, and it'll keep going until that hard disk is full. In Windows 7, it's under Backup and Restore. Just click the Windows key and start typing Backup. And in Windows 8, it's called File History, and in this case, it's very similar to Time Machine. It maintains your files for be up to several months up until that hard disk is full. So the bigger the hard disk, the more backup you have. People always ask, how often do I need to back up? I like to back up weekly. Some people are going to be where if you have a Time Machine or the Windows file history, you'll be backing up hourly. I find that can be a little extensive and not always feasible. If you have a laptop that you're taking with you, you're not constantly plugging in your portable USB drive to constantly back up. So I like to have critical files backed up once a week. What's critical? What do you deem critical? Is it your financial files? Is it the baby pictures? Is it wedding pictures? How about videos? Your taxes. Think about what's critical to you. If you had a fire or a flood and everything was lost, what do you need to get back up on your feet, whether it be personally or for your business? So think about what is critical and how far back are you willing to go. So that's the kind of the rule there. So make sure you follow that. Really sit down and think about it. If you lost those baby pictures, would you be devastated? If you lost your financials, could you come back? So again, our basic rules for backups is the 3-2-1 rule. 3 copies of your data, 2 different media, 1 of those being off-site. Also keep in mind about the 2 different media. Make sure you keep your media current. I had a client once who needed her financials because her hard copy, which she had kept for 7 years in the basement, were damaged by mold. So she needed to get back to her digital copy. She comes to me, she gives me a floppy drive, a floppy disk. And I looked at her and I went, I don't have a floppy. I'm going to need to go find one. And so we were able to recover her data, fortunately. But make sure you keep your backups up to date with the current technology. The last thing you want to do is be able to, in the position where you've got a very old piece of technology with critical data. In this case, she needed it for government records for taxes. And we were really struggling to pull that data. The other thing, make sure that you keep your backups protected. In her case, she had floppies, which are notorious for going bad. Leaving them in the car would destroy them if they got hot. So make sure you protect whatever your backup is. If in the case of a DVD, put it in a really good case. Keep it out of direct sunlight. Don't let it get damp. And that should be good for several years. Again, whether or not 7 years from now when you need it, will we have the technology to read it? That's another story. Thanks for watching. See you next week. Bye.